Hi everyone, it's Vanna. Today I want to talk about something that many people are quietly experiencing right now. Why millions of Americans are finding it harder and harder to retire, even with Social Security. For decades, many of us grew up believing that if we worked hard, paid into the system, and reached retirement age, everything would fall into place. But for many people today, the reality looks very different. More and more Americans are reaching their 60s and 70s and realizing that retirement may not look the way they expected. I was one of them. Let's talk about the reasons why. Well, one is the cost of living that's changed. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to retire today is simply the cost of living. It's just gotten ridiculous. Housing costs have increased, groceries cost more, healthcare expenses continue to rise. Even everyday things like insurance, utilities, and transportation can take a bigger portion of our monthly budget than it did years ago. For many retirees, Social Security alone simply doesn't stretch far enough to cover everything. You know, Social Security was never meant to be the only income. I finally realized this years ago, and my husband and I were not going to be able just to live on Social Security. Another important thing many people don't realize is that Social Security was never designed to fully support retirement by itself. When the program was created, it was intended to supplement retirement income, not replace it completely. But growing up, I never knew this. That means Social Security is meant to work alongside things like personal savings, pensions, retirement accounts, and other incomes that you might have. Another reason retirement planning has changed is that people are living longer than ever before. I've talked in other videos that my goal was to live to 100, so I guess I'm going to have to work part-time for a long time. My aunt did that. You know, she was around 80 or 82, and she would sit with people like overnight, you know, in their home or assisted living facility that the family would hire her for. She actually got upset that she wasn't getting hired anymore, and I think it was because, you know, of her age. She was just older, and they stopped hiring her, and it kind of broke her heart. She was such a worker. My grandmother was the same way. She would work part-time if she could find someone to hire her. Bless her heart. I guess I take after them because I want to continue to work as long as I can. Many people today are living well into their 80s and 90s, but that means your retirement savings need to last much longer than they did for previous generations. A retirement that lasts 20 or 30 years requires careful planning, and life doesn't always go according to plan, as we know. Many people experience things that come up in their lives that affect their ability to save for retirement, such as job changes, medical expenses, helping family members, and our layoffs that, you know, that's really been happening all over the country. One important thing to remember is that retirement itself is evolving. For many people today, retirement doesn't mean completely stopping work. Instead, many people are choosing to work part-time and start small businesses and pursue passion projects and volunteer and continue learning new skills, which I highly recommend. Always keep learning. That's a big motto of mine. Staying active can provide not only financial stability, but also a sense of purpose and connection. If you're approaching retirement and wondering how things will work out, you're definitely not alone. Millions of people are navigating the same question right now. The key is to stay informed, stay flexible, and focus on building a lifestyle that supports both your health and financial stability. Retirement today may look different than it did for previous generations, but that doesn't mean it can't still be meaningful, fulfilling, and secure for us. I'd love to hear from you. Do you think retirement is becoming harder today than it was in the past? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy conversations about healthy living, aging well, and practical wisdom for life, I'd love for you to join me on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I really appreciate you here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.